Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the HaChaim, and he's describing from last time that when a person is speaking Lashon HaRa, they are going to be judged on the fact that they could have been using their mouth to speak words of Torah instead. And the schar, the reward that one receives for learning Torah is above and beyond any other mitzvah. And the punishment for being mevatel, for nullifying your Torah learning, and especially at that time, being involved in speaking Lashon HaRa, is insurmountable beyond what a person could imagine, God forbid. Other times in a person's life, when they're not learning, it could be that in Shemayim, in the heavens, they're not going to hold them accountable for not learning. He's busy trying to make a living, put food on the table, pay his bills, send his kids to school, buy the kosher food, so on and so forth. Sometimes he's just sitting and thinking, coming up with plans how he could make a living, what he could do to make his business better. So says the CHOFETZ, that's okay. However, he does bring down in the notes, you have to be very careful. You cannot spend more time than is necessary to make a parnasa or think about making a living. Don't let the Yetzer Hara have his way over here. The Yetzer Hara says, everything is necessary. How are you going to make a living? If you don't work 20 hours a day, how will you make money? If you don't stop and think in the middle of davening, how are you going to do in your business meeting that's coming afterwards? How are you going to do well over there? So he says the CHOFETZ, even though that in a regular case you're not going to be considered mevatel Torah, where you are nullifying your learning of Torah because you're making a living, you have an obligation to your family. Yes, of course. Nevertheless, don't take it overboard. Do what is necessary. And that we know the CHOFETZ himself, he had a little store, a Makor, as we would call it in Eretz Yisrael, a little thrift shop, so to speak, and a mom and pop store, and he only stayed open as long as he needed to make money to live that particular day. So once that he made enough money in the store to provide himself with his financial means for that day, the store closed. So the hours were very odd. Sometimes it was 8 to 12, sometimes it was 8 to 8:30. It all depended on how long it took for him to get his financial obligations taken care of. Now, but at the time that a person is speaking Lashon HaRa, so if you're using Lashon HaRa and you're also speaking Lashon HaRa, it makes it sound like almost over here it's Lashon HaRa revolving around Parnasa, revolving around your livelihood. So then what good is that Parnasa? What good is that livelihood that came through a person speaking Lashon HaRa? And also at the time that you're telling Lashon HaRa, you also transgress Kamalavin. Gam Kain Kimavor V'Sever Mitzvos Gadol, you also transgress many other prohibitions as is described. Ayin Sham, take a look over there. She was honored min HaTorah v'Kamalavin shaloi lifresh min HaTorah b'shum panim. We are warned many times, don't separate yourself from the Torah at all. Which means, Ki be'ezoif and shu yochel l'kayim mitzvahs aseh, the Torah, any way that a person could fulfill the mitzvah, the positive commandment of learning, if he's a big lamdan, he knows how to learn very well. So the way you stay connected to it is by learning. Let's say he's a simpleton. He doesn't learn so well. Says the CHOFETZ, okay, so Gemara is hard for you. I understand. So the intricacies of the Rishonim who are expounding upon the Gemara, it's difficult for you, fine. But you know what he says? There's plenty of books that are out there, plenty of Svarim, holy books, that have been translated into Yiddish. Now, we'll insert in our time, translated into English. There are thousands of Svarim that are translated into English. Kagoin, for example, Chayvas Alavavais, the duties of the heart, which you can find in Yiddish, in English, in any language. Umenaras HaMaor. That was another famous Musa work. I'm not sure that they have it in English, but you could have gotten it in Yiddish back then. When you learn these works it inserts into your heart fear and awe of Hashem. A person should not be sitting batal, just no Torah at all, and instead speaking Lashon HaRa and Mechilas, God forbid. Rather, a person do what he can to be engaged in Torah study, whether, again, Bizman as in our generation, the Yetzer Hara has been taken away. All of the excuses almost have been taken away. Any good, solid sefer that a person wants to learn, most likely you can find it in English. And if you can't find it in English, you can find the shiur online somewhere where they go through the sefer. Even if you want to learn Gemara, you want to learn Bavli, Rishalmi, you can find it in English. Midrashim now, you can find them in English. Even Rishonim, Rashi, and the Tosfos, you can find them in English. And many of the other commentators on the Chumash, you can find them in English. So all the excuses have been taken away. We don't have to sit around idly while we're just watching one WhatsApp video and TikTok video after another. We could actually rescue our time, and we could be learning Torah in any shape and form that is good for a person, depending on the level that they're on. So Bez Hashem says to CHOFETZ, if a person does that, so they get tremendous reward. If they don't, Rachmana litzlan, the Mavanta misses essay the Talmud Torah, they're canceling out. They're abandoning the positive commandment of learning Torah, and on that, the punishments, God forbid, can be enormous. So let's cling to the good and stay away from the bad. Have a wonderful day.